Niçoise salad is a classic French salad, but many people don't realize that it originates from the city of Nice in the south of France. And since I just spent 3 weeks in the sun-drenched French Riviera eating an abundance of Niçoise salads, I'd like to think I'm somewhat of an expert on this dish now. The Mediterranean climate along the French Riviera produces an abundance of fresh vegetables for this salad. So if you're a fan of Mediterranean recipes, then this is a must-make summer salad recipe to keep in your rotation. And the best part is that it is incredibly easy to make. So let me show you how to make it. Let's start with the dressing first, and it's the lemon vinaigrette recipe from my website. This is one of the most versatile vinaigrettes and the one that I make most often, and it starts with 1/3 cup of extra virgin olive oil. To that, you'll add 1/4 cup of fresh lemon juice, 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard, 1/2 teaspoon of honey, 1 minced garlic clove, and salt and pepper to taste. Whisk that all together until it's emulsified and then set it aside. Now, we'll do a little multitasking on the stove today to cook the eggs, potatoes, and green beans at the same time, which are all done pretty quickly. For the eggs, bring a small pot of water to a boil, then reduce the heat to low so there are no bubbles. This is key. And then gently place the eggs in the pot. Once the eggs are in, you can then turn the heat up and bring it back to a gentle boil. Cook the eggs as soft or hard as you'd like, and I've got a separate video on how to boil eggs perfectly that shows the different textures at various time intervals. So if you haven't yet watched that video, give it a watch. But for today, I'm going for soft boiled eggs. Many of you know that I love a good 6.5 minute jammy egg, but today I'll cook them for about 7 minutes or so, just so they're not quite as runny. And while the eggs are cooking, I'll prepare an ice water bath. On another burner, I'll bring a pot of water to a boil, then salt that up and add 2 cups of baby red and white potatoes. You don't have to use both colors, you can pick just one if you'd like, but I had a mixed bag today. After you add the potatoes, simmer them for about 15 minutes or until they're fork tender, then use a slotted spoon or skimmer to remove the potatoes to a cutting board to let them cool. And the key here is to leave the water in the pot so that you can blanch the green beans in the same water that's already boiling, which speeds things up. But before we get to that, I'll remove the eggs to the ice water bath and let them hang out there until I'm ready to peel them. Immediately submerging the eggs in ice cold water stops the cooking process and ensures that they'll remain perfectly soft. All right, back to the other pot, I'll add 6 ounces of French-style green beans, which are also known as haricots verts. These just need to blanch for a quick 1 to 2 minutes, depending on how soft you like them. Then you can plop these into an ice water bath as well. And if you haven't yet noticed, I love my large skimmer and use it all of the time in the kitchen. So if you're in need of a new skimmer, I've linked it for you below. After the potatoes have cooled, go ahead and slice them in half. Or if you have ones that are a bit larger, you can always cut them into quarters. Interestingly enough, potatoes are one of those ingredients that are debatable on Niçoise salads. Purists might say that Niçoise salads should only include raw ingredients, but over the years, even French versions have come to include some cooked veggies like potatoes, beans, and fish. And I just like that potatoes add a bit more heft to the salad to fill you up. Next, slice in half 1 cup of grape tomatoes. You could also use garden fresh tomatoes and cut them into chunks, but no matter which you use, the key is choosing tomatoes that are juicy and ripe, because this salad is all about those farmers market fresh vibes. Slice up 1 English cucumber, and I like to cut it on a bit of a diagonal as it just makes it a bit prettier when it's fanned out on the platter, though you can slice it up straight. After years of photographing recipes for the website, I tend to approach things with a bit of a food stylist mentality now, which I've now realized is completely on autopilot. And the last veggie you'll need to slice is half of a red onion. So just slice it thinly and then set it aside. All right, let's see how we did on the eggs. Take those out of the ice water bath, tap them a few times, and then remove their shells. If you start peeling the eggs from the bottom, you can more easily get under the membrane, which makes them easier to peel. You can also peel them under running water, which I usually do, but I didn't want to move all of the camera gear over to the sink today, so I'm just peeling them here. But if you notice, the eggs are still easy to peel with no sticking membrane or divots in the whites. And it's all thanks to my process for boiling eggs. Trust me, my friends, after decades of boiling eggs this way, I swear by this method. And the eggs are perfectly cooked with a touch of softness on the inside. The final few ingredients needed for the salad are jarred and canned items, and that includes olives. For more color variety, I'm using both Castelvetrano olives and Kalamata olives, but feel free to use your favorite. And then for the fishy protein element, I'm using canned albacore tuna. Though you'll see at the end, many of the Niçoise salads I enjoyed in France included anchovies. So you can use those as well, or even canned salmon. To assemble the salad, I'm using a large platter as my recipe serves 4 people. And the base layer of the salad is about 4 cups of salad greens. I'm using a spring mix, though you can use baby spinach, arugula, or whichever greens you prefer. Layering leafy greens onto the platter not only helps all of the ingredients stay put, but it'll soak up all of the lemon vinaigrette dressing as well once we drizzle it on top. From there, you can place all of the veggies and proteins on top of the salad greens, including the cucumber, tomatoes, olives, potatoes, green beans, red onion, tuna, and eggs. I'm keeping all of the ingredients separate and serving it up Cobb salad style, but if you'd like to mix the ingredients together in a bowl before serving, you can certainly do that as well. For the dressing, you can add as much or as little as you'd like. I usually add about half of it and then save the rest to use in the future. No garnish is needed for this salad as it's so darn pretty all on its own, though I do like to sprinkle a rough grind of salt and pepper before serving. This Niçoise salad recipe is one of the most popular summertime salad recipes along the French Riviera, so if you haven't yet enjoyed it before, it's definitely time to whip it up at home. And I have to say that this salad, along with my Greek salad recipe, are probably the 2 salads I make most often in my own kitchen during the summer. I just can't get enough of the simple yet flavorful ingredients and the fact that both of them are so easy to meal prep. If you're serving this up for a dinner party, you can easily double the ingredients on an extra large platter and then let people serve themselves. But today, since it's just me all by myself in the kitchen, I'll quickly serve up a plate for myself, and then I'll share some videos of the Niçoise salad recipes I enjoyed in France. I am excited to dig into this recipe. There's just something about remaking a recipe at home once you've traveled to the country, and then as soon as you start eating it, it brings back all of those fond memories. I just love how light and fresh and simple this recipe is to make, and you can adapt it to so many different ingredients that you have on hand. As I mentioned in the intro, I had this salad numerous times when I was in the French Riviera, the Côte d'Azur, because on a hot, sunny day, it's just cooling and refreshing. And there are several variations that I had to it. The one I had in Monaco had radishes that were cut into beautiful flowers. It had bell pepper, and it also had anchovies, which is very common along the Mediterranean. That was delicious. And then another one I had was in Villefranche-sur-Mer, a gorgeous beach town that I need to win the lottery and buy a villa in. And that one had radishes as well, along with grilled bell pepper and quail eggs, which is why they are so small, along with anchovies and artichoke. All of the Niçoise salads I had along the French Riviera were all just a little bit different, which I loved because it gave them all a little bit of a unique flair. But the general premise of the salad was the same. So I hope you guys love this new salad recipe, and if you do, make sure to give the video a thumbs up as that really helps to support my channel. And I will see you again in the next video.